See, the small stuff matters. The small stuff in life matters. What you are doing matters. What we are doing as a church matters. It matters. Let me say this specifically for Life Point. A lot of times, I've been around church people my whole life, been around Christians, and one thing I've noticed is that a lot of times Christians will either abandon or give less to a small church because they think it's going to be unsuccessful. And I don't mean give as far as monetarily, I just mean like with your life, We don't get full-hearted into it because, we just don't think it's big enough or significant enough. A lot of small churches that I go to, and maybe ourselves included, I don't know, I feel like a lot of small churches have an inferiority complex. You know what I'm saying? Like we look at ourselves and we compare ourselves to larger churches with larger ministries, and we think about all the things that our church doesn't have, and size becomes a discouragement. But just like God says, I can bring a significant tree out of an insignificant little seed, and I can do something special with a whole loaf of bread with just a little bit of yeast, I can do the same thing with you. Jesus says, stop looking at what you don't have. Start looking at what you do have. God is in the small. God is in the ordinary, everyday stuff of life. Let me illustrate this by giving you another quiz. Another pop quiz. Here we go. Question number 1. Sports guys. Now, I'm a sports guy. Sports people, name the last 5 Heisman Trophy winners. I could go like 2 back, maybe. Maybe 4, because I think Cam Newton's in there, and he's my favorite quarterback. But I could not tell you the last 5. Couldn't tell you the last 5. Okay, how about this one? Name the last 5 Miss America pageant winners. I don't even know the first one, all right? How about this one? Name 10 people who have won the Nobel Prize. Obama, yeah, Obama's won. Okay, good. Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? How about this one? Name the Academy Award winners for the Best Actor and Actress in 1982. Some of you weren't even alive. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? How did you do on that? Not very good, right? The point is this. The point is that none of us remember the headliners of yesterday. Now, make no mistake, all of those people were important in their day. They were the best of their field. But applause dies over time. Achievements are forgotten. Awards tarnish. Accolades and certificates and degrees are buried with their owners. But let me give you a second half of this quiz. Question number 5. Give me the name of a teacher who inspired you. Give me the name of a friend who helped you get through a dark time in your life. Give me the name of someone who taught you something that was worth knowing. Give me the name of someone who made you feel significant and appreciated and special. You see what I'm getting at? Do you see the point? The people who make a difference in your life are not the ones with the most awards or the most credentials or the most money. They're the ones who have rolled up their sleeves and invested in who you are. They're the ones who do small things with big love. I love that quote from Mother Teresa. We can do no great things, only small things with great love. Let me ask you another question. What if we all committed to doing small things, to being the church, and not just going to church? Well, let me rephrase the question, actually. What if, not just if we all did small things, what if we all did small things for God? What if we all did small things that declared to the world around us that God is in charge? And this is what it looks like when His people live that out. I was at a pastor's gathering yesterday up in Edmonds. It was some of the other district pastors that I serve with in our movement that we're a part of, and I was sitting around a table with these guys that I hadn't really known before, and one of them is a pastor who pastors a really, really tiny church up in Easton. Anybody know where Easton, Washington is, right over the pass? Yet, you would fly right by it and not know. They don't even have stoplights. It's not even a one-stoplight town. It's a one-stop sign town. I think there's about 400 people, maybe, who call Easton home, and most of them, I think, work at the state park or they don't work at all. Well, there's this little church up there in Easton. It's Easton Community Church, and this guy's been pastoring there, and I was talking to him about that, and he said that God laid on his heart and his church's heart to begin just giving meals away, giving food away. So they began partnering with some of the grocery stores over in Cle Elum, and partnering with some of the different organizations that are kind of over the pass. And he said that this last week, so they started doing this every week, just giving away food to people in their community because so many people are in poverty. And he said that this past week they gave out 200 bags of food. 200 bags of food in a community of barely 400. Church is even smaller than we are. It's tiny, tiny, tiny. And you know, you may never go to that church. You may never visit that church. You may never hear about that church. That church may never be in the paper or on TV. That pastor may never speak at the biggest conference. But don't you dare try to tell God that that church is insignificant. That church is huge. That church is huge. You see, this is what Jesus was saying. What we may look at and see as insignificant, what may look insignificant in the eyes of the world, looks like the most important thing in the world to God. This is what the world looks like when God is in charge. So I hope that you'll hear me. Please hear me this morning before you leave. Stop wasting your life wishing you were someone else. Stop wasting the opportunities God has placed before our church because you wish your church was a different church. It's a waste of time, and it's ultimately a dishonor to God because we're saying that we don't believe that God could do something big through something so small, when He has shown time and time and time and time again, all the way down through human history, that He loves using small things to do big things.